Good morning, everybody. This is Guido coming at you with a coffee talk from the left side of the Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic with a brand new Guido mug that you all need to go out and buy.
See, I
Get one
screwed
today.
up. I already screwed up, Pilgrim. Hold on, guys.
How we roll. That's how we roll.
Yep. We were chatting about the apocalypse around here when we had the hurricane, and I forgot to switch the audio over. But we'll get that. We'll get that.
We're there.
And we're
Here we
there.
go.
And we are back, just like that. Excellent. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Heisenberg, I saw you in a match the other day. I don't know if you noticed. I yelled out your name, and then I got really busy playing, so I don't even remember where it was, but I do remember I saw you.
Drifting across the top of the map somewhere.
Yes. We both went to the same side, I know that, but to be honest, I don't remember anything after that happened, so I probably lost.
Traumatized. You must have been traumatized. That's why you can't remember.
Randall, Stickler, Blues Traveler, Heisenberg, Bitwise, good morning.
Morning all. You've had a follow earlier on. NB Metal followed you, but he's not in chat at the moment. So.
I saw that. Yeah, it was 41 minutes ago. That's
Yeah.
very good, very good. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for showing up to Coffee Talk. We got a couple things to talk about today, so that's good. Intros wise, Battle Pass, you can see I'm at 83, moving right along. I think I will finish that probably as things are going, because we have 60 or so days left, right?
Yeah. There's ages to go, isn't there?
Yeah. So
Or you could buy it all like I did.
yeah, that's true. I do hold that in reserve if I want to. I think I'd like to finish it to get the last tank that I don't have, and then I'm going to think about whether I might try to do EU Battle Pass next time, and see if I can't
Oh,
get
interesting. Well, yeah.
So given 2 Battle Passes, I can get 12 coins total. I only need 9. I can get at least one of those tanks on my EU account. So I'm considering that. I don't know. We'll see. 100 Battle
Well,
Pass.
I did it just to get the Char 4, so I've got it on my EU account. So yeah, I mean it's worthwhile just for that.
As you can see, that's what I'm showing you in my garage, because I did get my Char 4 back, and I've been playing it a bit, and I just love this tank. Guys, I'm telling you, this thing is amazing. I have a 77% win rate in this at 83 battles.
Well, that's not a bad count, is it? I mean, I know it's only 83 battles, but it's not a bad count, is it?
It is so far and
very
above
substantial.
any other tank. Now, here's the weird thing. I'm going to have to chalk this up a lot to just low sample size and luck. Because I'm looking at this, and you would think that my stats would be head and shoulders. Now, 1,099 is pretty good. But you would kind of get that if you're going to win a lot. What you want to look for is a really high DPG, which I don't really have. Like my AMX 30 at 200 battles is sitting at 2,200. This one's at 2,261. So there's not a great big difference between those two. My assist is a bit higher, which is nice. But
Yeah.
and the destruction ratio is out of control at 3.62. So I'll probably do a video on this. I'm gonna keep playing this. I want to get this thing to like 200 battles and see where that win rate sits.
Yeah, well, that's a good sample size, 200 battles, isn't it?
Yeah, once you get to 200, I think 100 is pretty good, but I'm feeling like this is really a bit of an anomaly. So I think 200 it'll level out a lot better. I really think it's definitely a 60% or higher.
Right.
If I could keep in the 70s, that would be amazing. But of course, now I'm going to start tryharding. Look at the hit percentage though, 80%,
Yeah.
55%.
Yeah, it's crazy, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
55% survival you would expect with that much victory, so that's a little bit inflated by potential luck right there.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about this tank that I'm starting to formulate, and I've been talking about this on other tanks on occasion as well. It has an X factor to it that makes it carry, that helps it to carry.
Yeah.
The fact that it has 4 390 alpha shots, and yes, the intraclip is slow at 4 seconds or so, but it shoots 1 and it still has 390 shots. It shoots 2 and it's still holding 2.
Yeah.
And even when it shoots 3, it still has 1 hard-hitting shot left. And yes, the clip reload is long, but think about your engagements in this game. How many times does engagement take more than 4 shots?
exactly. Just going to say that. That's a 4-shot is a tank killer. You
Yeah,
know, isn't it just?
right.
Invariably, for most tanks.
And if you do some peekaboo with 390 alpha, you're taking out most things you face,
Yeah, yeah,
or mauling the big kids quite hard. It provided
yeah,
you can pen and everything.
yeah.
And then it's got speed, so it can get around. It's got some decent camo, so it can kind of sneak
Yeah.
a little bit. It
It's
just
quite low.
is quite low. It's small
Yeah,
target. I just find the thing to have everything you need to kind of drop damage and get around the map and finish games.
yeah,
It's just a
yeah,
brutal finisher. It's really what the Bat Chats wish they were, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is, isn't it? And the sort of bottom line there, the caveat on that is that I've currently got and this is Pilgrim, who's not that good. I have a 75% hit ratio with it and a 100% victory rate with it
In one battle.
in one battle. But hey, it's good stats.
Well, I think that's all the proof we need. We just extrapolate your single battle out to 100
Yep,
battles.
exactly.
Well, let's just assume you lose one battle in there. Your 99% win rate.
Yeah, that'll be about right. Well,
And
let's
I
do it over 200. So we'll talk about an 89% win rate
Okay.
at a
So you've lost
at
22
a
battles and 200 bouts. Yeah, so you'll probably be maybe about 89% or so. And
yeah.
I only imagine your hit rate would go up because you get better and better. So probably somewhere in the 95% hit rate.
Oh,
I imagine.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to make me look a monster, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think that's completely valid. It sounds to me.
Thank you.
All right, Pilgrinomics is back, my friends.
Indeed.
Pilgrinomics. Can I say that? I can't even say it.
Pilgrimnomics.
Is it Pilgrinomics or Pilgrinomics?
Oh, I don't know. Twitch will tell you.
I think Pilgrinomics rolls a little bit, but it's kind of hard to say Pilgrinomics,
Doesn't it?
as attested to
Doesn't
by
it?
my inability to say it moments ago. EU update. I have played a couple games. Somebody reminded me that I was missing out on the anniversary freebies over there by not playing a game. So I managed to do that a few times. I rolled out the T54 Mod 1 I got for the what's this program called? The referral program.
Yeah.
So I played that a little bit. I did finish the Excalibur on Battle Pass. That got me a few games towards the 100 Battle Challenge. So I finished that one. I'm going to tell you something, guys. There is a tank that I did not like that I am starting to quite like at Tier 6. And it's this silly Poodle and the Breton also. This tank is good, dude.
Really? Now, I haven't played the Breton. I've got the Bretangagini Panther, but I haven't even played it because, well, I haven't got round to it, put it that way. So I'm quite happy if you're going to go run down that road. We'll have a look at that.
Jemima's Witness. I am in Central. Pilgrim is Zulu or Zero Time or
Yeah, I'm the
GMT.
proper time. I'm
Yeah.
the British time, the
He's
Greenwich
the
Mean Time.
he's the time that rules the world.
Indeed.
See, that's what people say. The Breton is bad and the Poodle. I'm telling you what, these are pretty dang good. And anytime you bring a higher tier tank and down tier it, they turn out to be pretty decent. Even with a theoretically worse gun, obviously, than the tier 7. This thing is just fun. I've been doing some good work with this thing. Now the Breton, I'm sitting at 38%, but how many battles do I have on it? 16. They seem like, I think they're the exact same tank, more or less. But maybe there's some difference in it that makes the Poodle slightly better. I don't know. Anyway, I throw that out there. I like it.
Got the same gun. Has it got
I think so.
7.5, is it? 7.5?
215
millimeter?
aiming, 0.33 dispersion. Poodle is 215.33. It looks exactly the same.
Right, yeah, it looks exactly the same. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
I think it's the same tank. There may be some very slight. There's a couple little differences. I did it. Actually, hold on. Maybe I still have it here. Nope. Those are the 3045 clones that I was checking. Anyway, I like it. I like it.
Might
So
give it
it's a nice
straight
rammer.
out.
You want to finish people off with ramming. It's heavier than most everything at that tier for sure.
You have to create the situation to get a ram in, don't you? So
Yeah.
you've still got to play the game well, and then it's the end game when the ramming is the best, isn't it? So
Yeah. Morning,
no
Woody.
point in ramming in the first 2 minutes, is it?
Don't ram a tog though. That's not a good idea.
Morning all, morning everybody.
Yeah, this thing is. I don't know. I just liked it. I didn't like it before. Like Jemima was saying, the Breton I'm not doing as well in, but I only have a few battles. I suspect I'll do better now. Of course, I'm playing at tier 6, so that's a bit of seal clubbing. I got it, but I don't know. It just has turned out to be a much more fun tank than I thought it would be. So I'm not going to be too bothered by grinding those two out for the battle pass points. And I kind of saved
What's your loadout? What's your equipment loadout?
I'm running vents, a rammer,
Right.
and the IRM. I think it's a pretty standard, straight up
Okay.
combat kind of thing. I've got large kits. I'm not running food or any of the try hard stuff. I do have 12 APCR. I will say that it doesn't really seem to need. 150 is fairly decent for a medium at tier 6.
Right. Yeah,
But
yeah,
when
yeah.
you see the 8s, you will be probably dabbing 2, and even then it's a little anemic at 194. So taking on tier 8 heavies with this is not a lot of fun.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You bang it up 2 tiers and see a heavy. Any tank would struggle at tier 6.
Yeah.
So fair enough. But Bitwise was saying put a turbo on it. It bombs around.
I know there's a couple guys out there that everything is turbo, turbo, turbo. So I may have to try that in the near future. Just start chucking some turbos on. Actually, I did. What did I put it on? I did just put it on something. I think it was one of the tier 6s I just finished. I wonder what it was. I'm trying to think of what that was.
Wasn't a T70. It wasn't. You didn't do it on a TD, did you? That would.
It wasn't a TD. I'm trying to remember what the heck I just put it on, and it was it the AMD? No.
Yeah, it's out. You put it on a wheeled vehicle.
No, I did not. No. Well, I won't waste too much time. I can't remember. I actually put it on something, and to be honest, I remember thinking I'm going to put the turbo on it to see if it helps it, and then I sort of forgot it was there. So now I don't remember whether it was a good thing or not. So I don't know.
Brilliant, brilliant.
I don't know.
Just
All
for the
right.
hell of it.
So we have to try that. I know a lot of people swear by the turbos on slower tanks to get them around, which I get on principle, but I don't know in practice whether it matters that much. But so much of this stuff is just what fits your play style,
Yeah.
right? At the end of the day, which is a nice thing about the new equipment setup, that they've actually made some more viable setups for people via
Yeah.
play style. So
Yeah,
while
yeah,
that was their intention, I think they've kind of accomplished it. I'm not convinced that in the long run some of these other setups are better than just putting the best
Yeah.
combat multipliers on there. But if it works for an individual, then who's to say, right? If you
Well, yeah, that's a good point because now they've classified each tank's equipment. So if you're in a heavy tank, you should have this, is what they tell you. I still do a lot of the old school stuff. I'll put rammers on, even though it's not part of the tank's classification for equipment. I'll put a rammer on because I like that particular setup. The old school setup used to be vents, rammer, and GLD or something like that for your heavy things like
bird
that.
stab,
I
yeah.
still maintain that because I'm used to that, the way that tank reacts. And I haven't even gone down the road of just testing stuff out. I've gone off what other people have said, like yourself and that. So yeah, I've got CVS on my lights because why not? And I've got a muffled exhaust on my lights because why not? It's increasing all that. But I do like the old school. So, and I like the option to go back to old school as well. They don't force you down that road.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that, when people say put a turbo, and I say no, you don't do that, because I'm used to the old school stuff. So it does take a while to sort of break out. Patch 1.12 we'll talk about a little while later. Somebody just had a question about that. Turbo is Life, says Woody. Yeah, the Panzer 5.4 is a ramming machine. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Even lower tiers, that thing.
Bomber.
That thing's out of control.
Bomber.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's it for channel news. Stream, I don't know, guys. There will be one tomorrow in the afternoon with Stack Up. Maybe during the day. I have an early sim, so I might get to it right before stack up. We'll see. I do have a day off next week sometime. Unfortunately, I don't know what day it is because the schedule has changed. So I will try to get that information out some other time. That's it. Missions and specials. Ready to shill?
Oh yes, let's shill. Let's shill better than Commander AF does on her videos.
We can't shill better than her. She's paid for
We
them to
can't
shill.
really, can we?
She's
She's
paid
just
by them to shill.
She's a professional.
I mean that. I mean that with all due respect.
Oh, no,
Which is what you
absolutely,
say right before you say something that's going to disrespect somebody.
yeah. I mean it with all sincere respect.
Yes, all due respect, you son of a.
Yeah.
All right.
That's exactly what you do, isn't it?
Yep. Okay, crowd tank is here. So there's actually a guy. I just started yelling really loud. There's actually some. Yeah, that was like just out of control. I guess the coffee's starting.
It's like the cat had walked in the room.
Well, I think the coffee is starting to kick in. It's delicious.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It began a Sumatra blend this morning again.
So, Sumatra blend. Where's that from then? What's,
From Panama City.
Oh, is it local? Oh,
No,
cool.
no, it's from Sumatra. It's from Sumatra.
Oh, of course it would be. Oh, stupid me.
Pilgrim, I think, has had a mini stroke potentially today, and it has affected the region of his brain that is geography, because he's had a bit of a challenge this morning with geography.
I know. We were discussing Panama City in Cuba, which is in Panama.
Yeah. I wonder if there might be a Panama City in Cuba. There could be. Somebody was telling me a story. I can't remember who it was, whether it was a relative of theirs or them. But they had bought tickets. This was years and years ago when security wasn't quite as tight. They had bought tickets to Panama City. Where do you think they showed up? They meant to come to Panama City, Florida.
Oh, you don't. They went
Oh
to
yeah,
Panama.
they landed in Panama City, Panama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'd do that. That's what.
So they land and they're watching it land, and then they they ask the stew, and she's like,
where? This doesn't look very.
She's like, what?
Panama?
They're like, where am I? You're in Panama City. Florida? No, Panama.
Brilliant.
Can you
Look at
direct?
the canal.
Can you direct me to the nearest ticket counter, please?
Yeah, exactly. I need to fly somewhere else.
Could
quick.
you imagine? Oh man, this was years and years ago. I don't know if you would be able to manage that these days. Everything is so tightly done, and I don't know. You clearly remember flying back in the old days. It was very. Tickets were different, and you would constantly hear about people sneaking onto planes.
Yeah, it was old school though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, I've got a story about flying. Do you want it? Do you want the story about flying?
Yeah, we've already gone off the rails, so we might as well.
Yeah, why not? Well, the first time. Well, this is quite. This could end up a long story, so I'll try and shorten it down.
Do you have any short stories?
No.
No. All right. So carry on. You're fine.
Okay. Well, the first time we flew as me and the house general, when we first got married. The first time she came over to Northern Ireland is a totally different story, and I'll tell that one day. But that was quite funny as well. But this one, we were engaged to get married the first time she came to Ireland. After we got married, she came over. So I picked her up at the airport at Liverpool, up at John Lennon Airport, which is called now, and we got onto this thing, this plane, turboprop, right? And we were flying to Aldergrove. And it started to take off, and everything was rattling.
Yep.
And then there was a gap between the door and the frame, and it was about that much of a gap. And we were sat in the seats by the door, and she's absolutely cacking herself because this door is like rattling away in the frames and everything, and there's this wind blowing in. I'm never flying again. Then she went 18 hours to Hong Kong with me 2 years later, so she did fly again.
Oh wow! My mom flew out from Florida in 1966, I think, and went and flew to Hong Kong to meet my dad, who was in Vietnam for his year and got his R&R, and he flew from Vietnam and went out and they met in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yeah, she was gonna go to Vietnam. She was because my dad was stationed near what's the big town? Saigon. He
Saigon,
was in
yeah.
a suburb of Saigon, and I guess that happened early in the war quite a bit. Couldn't really stop a private citizen from going there.
No, I guess not. No.
But then my dad's like, "Nah, screw that. Let's just meet me in Hong Kong."
Yeah. It's a fantastic. I mean, I don't know what it's like now, but back in the day when it was still part of the empire, it was a fantastic posting. 2 years there was possibly the best posting I've had with the British Army, to be honest.
Yeah,
And we loved it because we didn't have any kids at the time, so we were like footloose and fancy free. We were on the piss every night. You know what I mean? It was
yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
absolutely awesome. Anyway, sorry.
All right, let's
Bit of a
chill.
tangent, guys.
No, we're good. Tangent off. Tangent off. All right. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff for sale, man. The Patriot
Yeah.
is out. That's the code, by the way. The code is Revolution, and you'll
Right.
get your Patriot rental, or you can buy it. The British Duo is out. These are both really pretty good tanks. I just finished the Firefly VC for my Battle Pass points, and I quite liked that one. That's actually
Yeah.
a beast because
Yeah.
its standard pin is so high,
Yeah.
and it fires pretty quickly anyway. It's the 76 you wish all the other Sherman variants had.
Yeah.
Although I think it's a 2-pounder, right? Isn't it also? It's not really a 76, right?
Yeah, it's classed as the 2-pounder in the UK, but
Yeah.
it is well, yeah,
I think it's a Brit gun in it, right? It's 17
yeah. That's
pounder.
what
17 pounder.
yeah, they put the QF in,
Cliffy's got it.
yeah, and it just made all the difference, I guess.
Yeah, it's an absolute beast, man. I really like it. So you can catch those two things. If you just buy the two, it's $42. That seems pretty reasonable, actually. You can there's a coupon available, so it'll bring it down to probably high 30s. So not bad. I mean, the Carnarvon AX is not the greatest thing ever, but it's not bad.
No, it's not bad, and I've used that predominantly for front lines, because you can just use that turret to
Yeah.
great effect on front lines.
Yeah.
So
There's the Offspring. They're back. Apparently, they have a new album, which I don't care about. Do we need to
yeah, your
relive?
musical taste doesn't stretch to.
No, I
British
actually
vibes,
like
so-
their music. I just don't care
Oh, do you?
for how they've done this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And as we've noted in the past, it's not the band's fault. It's the music industry who are dirtbags of an epic
Yeah.
proportion.
To be fair, if I was going to spend that level of money, I'd get the Barusk instead. You know what I mean? That's up as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and what I'm referring to for any of the new guys is when the Offspring thing first came out, we were told we can't use any of their music. As a matter of fact, we weren't even allowed to use the music that was in the game, on our YouTube stuff, or we would get hit with a DMCA or whatever strike. And I just went,
Yeah.
fine.
Just one.
In fact, I don't think I used the skin in my TL1 LPC review. So they're
Oh,
they're
you just cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you just had the TL1.
I think
TL1
so.
with
I may have. I think I didn't because you couldn't use the music or something. It was
Yeah.
whatever, man. You know what? You're dead to me.
Well, it just stinks, doesn't it? I mean, it's well, it's not public property, but it's out there, isn't it? So what? Why? And
Well, it's not like it's not like I was going to make a whole video of just their song and monetize it and try to.
No, it's not like you're going to earn thousands of dollars off the back of them.
You
know what
put
I
it
mean?
in the game.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
too, in addition to, so what if I earned some money off of them? It's free advertising for them. Maybe somebody buys a bunch of their albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like this thing is one piece of pie that's finite and you can only cut so many pieces off of it. That's what
No, it don't
you know.
mean, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get protecting your intellectual property, but at some point, I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can go down that road and you can say, right, well, nobody can read Shakespeare because it's copyrighted. Get out, will you?
Right,
Crying
right.
out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For crying, it's public domain stuff. I mean, if you happen to feature it on a YouTube channel, it's not going to make you a millionaire, and it's not going to take $1 million off them, is it?
I mean, well,
Really?
see, and I can be fair about it. It would have been nice if they said, all right, in the context of your video, if you want to have their music playing for this video, advertising this tank and this collaboration, feel free to do so. You have our permission and a temporary license to do so. That's easy. But it was no, sorry, you can't use it.
But that's the music industry all over, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and
That's it.
what that got them for me, not that they gave two shits because 100 people saw it or 300 or whatever it was. I'm just talking more in a broader context. What they got for me is I didn't even show their stuff,
Exactly. So, and that's your personal choice, and
and
so
it
what? You
got
know what
them a little bit of bad mouthing from me. So there you go.
I mean? And a bit of a tirade on the
Viva la
18th of
revolution!
God. Oh dear.
And nobody cares. Don't. Thank you.
That's it.
All right.
Not our business, is it?
Gold. Oh my gosh, gold.
Oh dear.
Let's talk about gold.
Let's talk about.
There's not much going on here. Do we still have the strange pricing situation going on?
No, I think we've cocked it up for everybody now. I think Wargamers clicked and then they mugged everybody off on it. Because you have a look what they've done.
Yeah,
Is it the same for you?
it's 140 for the big one, and then you can't get the cheaper one.
Yeah, yeah. So now they're calling it jackpot because you get an extra 5,500 gold. Have you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, so one's called jackpot, and they've discounted it, but it's still now whatever it is, 100 and something dollars. And then the war chest one has gone to normal price. So I think we've queered the pitch for everybody, to be honest.
This makes no sense.
No,
Why would you buy this one? Why is it even here?
I don't know. I've no idea. Wargaming have obviously got their own ways of doing things. It's amazing.
Wow.
I think the marketing guy is a 3-year-old, you know. I'm sure he is.
What the heck?
Sutek's in the house.
Sutek, what's up? Yeah, well, we're right now we're just decrying. I don't know what part of it you just heard, but right now we're decrying the fact that this is insane. $140 for 10,000 and 10 million, and then a discounted 162, $20 less for a bunch more gold
Yeah.
and 10 million. How much is 15,000 gold? It's 25,000 is $100, so that has to be $60 in gold
Gotta be on it. Yeah.
for 15,000, something like that.
See, I'm trying to work it out I've got pound sterling up on mine, so.
First of all, these are terrible packages. They're awful. 10 million silver. I mean,
I know.
that's a lot of money for what the silver at 10 million is. How much gold does it cost? I want to say it's it
Go on, still
5,000?
have a look. Let me have a look.
I can't remember how much because you can't buy just straight up silver.
So let me see if I can convert 10.
Oh yeah,
million.
convert. See what converting. Getting yourself to. I just did it a bunch and I can't remember what it was. I want to say it's 25,000.
16,000 gold gets you 6 million.
I think
And
it's
I've got
25,000 gold gets you 10 million.
Yeah, I think that'll be about it.
It's like $100.
Yeah. Good grief.
Yeah. So in the context of the silver being worth $100 over here, and then 15,000 in gold is you get that for 19.99. I realize it's discounted across the board, but just look at it that way for a moment. In the context of that, it's a good deal. In the context of buying silver, I think you're probably insane, unless you.
I can make 10 million silver in a day and a half, 2
Yeah.
days perhaps.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
Kez just said silver is free. Now,
Yeah.
there are people who make enough money that they spend $120 on a single drink at some fancy restaurant. They don't really care.
Yeah, that fancy cocktail that is 3 different colours with a umbrella in the top.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably part of the psychological thing.
Who
So,
ate us hard? Yeah.
Yeah. So, anywho, there you go. That's the goal.
There you go.
Premium
That
count,
was
nothing
gold.
to add there. Standard act. The gross tractor's terrible. Wait for a better one. Offspring. T26E5. There's some others. The Brosk actually showed up. We talked about it last week. There was supposed to be the Brosk and the 274 Alpha. The Brosk showed up in like midweek or something. So the Brosk is for
Did it
sale,
ever?
guys. If you want a Brosk, they are for sale. So
Definitely buy it if if that's what you want to do. Put your money into that. As I said, I'd rather put my money into that than to anything else on offer at the moment. And you knew the Boros was on sale because nearly every game had 6 Borosks in it. You were like, well, where are all these Borosks coming from?
now here's the bummer, which I did not notice. You cannot buy it without the skin. That's going to jack your price up. I don't see it
Oh,
available without
really?
this. Yeah,
Oh, hang on a minute.
that's
Yeah,
painful.
Warcher,
I don't unless
Ultimate,
it's somewhere
loaded.
else on here. I don't see it. So that makes it a bit of a bit less of a deal to me. It's I showed it as $49.
Yeah, that's what I've got here for
I
the
can use
just the
the
box standard
yeah, but
skin.
you're getting that $15 skin that yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not elsewhere, is it? Right down the bottom.
Yeah,
Are you
so there
scrolling
you
to the
have it.
bottom?
No, I didn't see it. I got into the
No.
regular tanks. I didn't see it. So yeah, Cliffy said he looked, didn't see a base either. So that's a little disappointing, actually. Again, there's that marketing thing coming at you. Of course, you can buy the
Yeah.
skin separately. You just can't buy the tanks separately. Looks like I guess the offspring one's the same way, isn't it? Yeah, you can't just get the
Oh, is
TL1
it?
LPC.
Yeah.
Yep, you have
Another
to.
marketing ploy.
Yep,
Specials.
that's really cheesy.
Isn't it just?
That's super cheesy, actually. There should be the base version available.
Absolutely, because again, they're forcing you down the road of buying something that you don't really want. I mean, I'm not, I'm not fussed by skins. Skins that have erroneous things on like surfboards and boats and stuff. So, given the choice, I'd rather pay $30 for a base tank than 42 or whatever,
Come to
just
think of
because they're
it,
going to throw.
the stupid uh, the stupid 50 TP is exactly the same.
Oh, maybe they've turned ahead. Maybe they've turned and gone. This is
You
what
know
we're going to
what's
do from now
you know
on.
what's fantastic about this one? Isn't this style only a 2D style?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind these being 3D styles. I believe this is only a 2D style. That's even better.
Oh, good grief.
Is that right? I'm pretty sure it's only a 2D style. Winged
I don't
Hussar.
know.
I think it's just 2D. Is there anything else at mail? Maybe there is one little thing on the side of it. Maybe it is 3D. Yeah, it probably is 3D. I think they've got a little bit of equipment chucked on it, but anyway, crazy. All right, guys, to the
There you go.
stars. Let's do this. I know there's been a lot of questions on the forum, so we're going to go through this. That's how you buy stuff. That's not what I want to do. And I don't want you guys to miss out. I think most of you know this, but for those of you who don't, or maybe watching this as the recording, which is going to come out later on Sunday, so you don't have a lot of time, what you need to do is go to the... Stop it. Go to here, all right, 60th anniversary of Yuri To The Stars. You want to press this. To get your stuff, you have to go to their little extra website, which is not well advertised. I mean, if you read it, you kind of figured it out, but you come here and Yuri's getting the devotion of the Soviet Union. They all look how happy they are. They're all so well fed and everything was so happy there. All right. Your stars numbers will be here. I've spent all of mine. You can buy more. I don't recommend it. They're expensive for what you get. Again, not very. You can get the story there if you want to. Does this also take you? No, that takes you to Facebook and whatnot. Star levels. That's the one you want. Isn't it crazy that the button to get you to the goodies is this small text
So
link?
hidden. So
Small,
hidden.
tiny text link down at the bottom left. Click on that. This is where you want to be to get your goodies. How
I'm
this?
actually doing this live
Are you?
because I tried it last week when you did it, and I couldn't remember how to get back to it, so I'm now doing it live.
All right, good. We caught one of us. All right, excellent.
Yay!
You can see that I've already claimed. This is the main line. Each one of these is 300. 3, 6, 9, 12. 1,500 points will get you all of the main prizes, the last prize being Yuri Gagarin as a commander. All these other ones, you can see the price points. You can get goodies, but if you buy too many of these, i.e. you buy more than 300 points worth because you can only get 1,800 points via the game, you're going to miss out on Yuri because Yuri costs you 1,500 points. So you can see your points down here. Just you click on it, and I don't remember what it looks like, but it says claim or something. So claim all this or whatever you want, really. I would recommend do the main prizes so you can get Yuri, and then use your 300 for whatever you want down here. This book was 1800.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Anybody got any questions on that? I'll try to answer them. If I can't answer them, Cliffy can. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't realise you have to be booked in to actually claim.
I did leave that part out.
I can't do anything. I've got no points or anything. What's going on? And then I realised I wasn't logged in.
I did leave that out. You are going to have to log in, guys, so make sure you log in. Absolutely. And you'll know you're logged in. You can't see it.
Right.
You can't see it, but at the bottom right, it says Guido 1212. Let me see if I can actually... I'm not going to be able to do that.
Also, where does it tell you how many star points you've got? I can't see that.
The very bottom. See right here, Pilgrim?
Right, I'm looking.
There we go. There's my cursor. See right here? My cursor's doing a little circly guy. That's your points.
Oh, okay.
That's your points.
So I can claim. I've claimed level 1, so I must have booked in at some point. Must have been last week.
There's how you know you're logged in, guys. Right here on the bottom right, where it says Guido 1212. I've logged in. That's how you know.
Oh, I've got loads.
Yeah, loads.
I didn't realise. Loads. Woo.
Yep. How many do you have?
Oh, you can buy more as well.
You probably have 1800, right?
No, not quite.
Oh, you
I'm
didn't
up
do
to
them
level
all.
3. I didn't realise. Because I've not bothered. You see.
Right.
So level 3.
You did have to pay attention to the missions. If you want to know the missions, they're down here on the bottom left. It's too late now, though. Unfortunately, here I am. Day late and $1 short as usual. But there's where all the missions were. If you wanted to know what they were.
Right.
Which doesn't help you now, I realize. But all right, so hopefully that helps somebody along the way.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it is.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, isn't it?
Well, it was like tank rewards, but not so well publicised.
Who just
Really?
made that point? That was actually a pretty good point. I didn't realize that. Hold on, let me go back to. I gotta get rid of this so I can. Nope, not us. Don't want to get rid of us. I want to get rid of this so I can go back to here. 850,000 crew will get you from 0 to 3 skills on 1 crew person. All right. Excuse me. Yeah, minus the 0 skill. That's true. No, it's a good book. It's just holy cow, 180,000. That's insane.
No, I won't get Yuri. I won't get Yuri.
Correct. You had to kind of pay attention to the mission and make sure the mission got done. It wasn't always just a one-game mission. So it is a website, Triple M. Do I need to go through this again? Here, let me... Oops, that's not what I wanted. That is what I wanted, actually. All right, so go to the Yuri... Yeah, you may have to drop this down. Actually, you can do it the easier way because it's right here on the events. It's right here. Special offers and events. Click on special event To The Stars. Scroll down, click on To The Stars. That'll take you to the website. You can also Google the website. Watt To The Stars is what I've used and it finds it. Make sure you don't go to the EU version because there's another version. Make sure you're logged in. Go down here to star levels, bottom left. And go crazy. Use your points. That's it. That is it. I think that's
As easy as that, look.
Yeah, I think that's for shilling. That's it for shilling. Let's take a look at... We have a ×2 weekend going on right now. You can buy Watt gear. Double Crew XP weekend is going on. We talked about that. Update 1.12 is on the way. We'll talk about that in a minute. Cobra Commander, guys. That is the next Prime Gaming thing, right? Remember you got Duke last month? This month you can get Cobra Commander. So make sure you go there on Twitch. If you have, on Twitch, Prime Gaming, not Twitch. Oh man, my brain has just stopped.
Prime Gaming.
Yeah, Prime Gaming, Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch. Yeah.
And once you're, whew, make
Ooh,
sure
that
you're
was hard, wasn't
connected to
it?
your account. This is the first time in a long time that I had to reconnect my account.
Oh,
I
really?
know,
You
yeah.
have to do that.
I don't know why it logged me out on Twitch, but it did. I know people have had to do it nearly every time. Yeah, Twitch and Amazon. So it's Prime Gaming, which you get if you have Amazon Prime. You can buy Prime Gaming alone, but if you have Amazon Prime, you get Prime Gaming with Amazon Prime.
Right.
So get your
And
Cobra
that's
Commander.
through the account management thing, isn't it? You go to the account management and link your Twitch account with Wargaming, don't you?
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Thanks for the follow, Dovey Duclas. Welcome. Cheers, man. I say man to everybody, by the way, so there you go. All right. Cobra Commander. What else? What else? What else? We said the code Revolution. We got the code Cobra Commander, Double Crew XP Weekend. We went through to the stars, I believe. Anything else on missions and specials, guys? Let's go ahead and just check real quick in the UI and see if there's anything that jumps out at us. I have a lot of red dots. There's the To The Stars thing. So today's mission is 7,500 damage. So as you can see, unless you got a huge game, you're not going to do a lot of these missions in just one event. Steel Hunter is that ongoing now again?
Yeah, it's the next session now, isn't it? The next season, June.
Oh, it
I
ends.
think.
Today's the last day. It actually ends. I didn't even know.
Oh, does it end?
So I'll ask the same question as I did with as I'm going to with ranked. If Steel Hunter started, would anyone hear it? Is anyone playing this? I don't know.
No.
Watt Salute is my.
I don't even think, to be honest, I don't even think if I hadn't used all that gold to scroll through Battle Pass, I would even go and do Steel Hunter just to get Battle Pass points. I would just go, can't be bothered with that.
Really?
Can't be bothered with that. It
Yeah.
does not interest me at all as a mode. No incentive on this earth other than gift me 5,000 gold every time I play would make me play it.
Bogey says a friend made Steel Hunter noises, but he didn't bother to look. What's a Steel Hunter noise like? Having the fun strangled out of you? Is that what?
Yeah, it's like a cat being strangled, isn't it?
Like a cat fight at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
The one that wakes you up and you think a child's being slain outside your window.
Oh, by the way, Cryotank got his Char 4, you know? Awesome.
Excellent. Excellent. The problem, in my opinion, for what it's worth, and I know a lot of people like Steel Hunter, that's fine. It is the most disconnected from the rest of the game mode that you can have. The only thing it does for the rest of the game, for your grind and all that stuff, is the rewards. Do you keep the crew? Do you keep the commander? Do you actually level up a guy, or is that, I don't know, someone in chat's gonna have to tell me. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to Steel Hunter for a while. Howie likes it because there's no cars. All right, fair enough. That's true. There are no yet, Howie, yet.
Yeah. I think yeah, I've got a refill. I've just refilled the tea, Stickler. I think the problem with the mode is it doesn't promote the basics that you need for the regular game. Things like teamwork, things like positioning, things like aggressive play, all the things that you would put into practice in pubbies is not in any way, shape or form to do with a Steel Hunter mode. So it takes you completely out of the game mode and puts you into an arcade thing. Something you put $1 or a bit into a machine and just play. It's not conducive to anything, in my opinion.
Randall.
To do with the game.
Randall's like, it's for fun, you bunch of muppets. Fair enough.
It's fun.
Fair enough.
It's fun.
Fair enough. And that's, people like it because it's a fun mode they like. I just didn't care for it. It felt like, to me, it was mostly about running around and hiding, which since I haven't played it that much, that could be completely off base. But it seemed like you tried to run around, power up as much as possible, avoid as much contact as possible, and then maybe kill a couple of guys. I bet there's probably people out there who go straight at people and just beat them and then power up along the way. That's
Yeah,
I'm
I've had
sure
that
that goes
happen to
on.
me. I do the hiding thing. When I've done it in the past, I've done the hiding thing. Go and sit on the corner of the map, wait for the bit of the map to go yellow, stay in the yellow bit until you know it's about to turn red, and then skedaddle to the next little point. I don't see the point in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like it.
GTA, that.
All right, back to the UI. Watt
Anyway, yeah.
salute. At least we have 2 watt salute. What the heck? Watt salute and watt salute.
Isn't that odd? What's that all about? Why is that not together?
I don't
Well,
know.
we know why that's not together, don't we?
I don't know. They do have 2 different run times. So wait, one goes actually to January. Whoa, 2029. Well, that'll cover it.
Yeah. Well, they think the game's going to be going on for that long. I'm happy with that.
I mean, I guess the difference is that this is the ongoing thing that you get these bonuses, and this is the monthly thing. And I think once a day you can do this, as I recall, and you can get some kits once a day by playing a game. That's not bad. I don't know how you would put those 2 together based on the way they've done their UI. So you could name them different though. Watt salute daily, watt salute monthly. There you go.
Yeah. Or what salute yearly?
Yeah, yearly. Yeah. Grill is on track. Multipliers are on track. Community hunting, yada yada. GI Joe Cobra bundle. There are some missions for that and some more goodies. So once you claim it. Also, guys, remember when you do your Cobra thing, and I don't remember if I've done this, you go to Depot. I have. There will be another, or is it store? I think it's Depot. Maybe it is store. I don't see it.
You're just
down
trying
there.
to confuse me, aren't you? That's all it is. You're just trying to confuse
Well,
me.
you have to go. You have to go select your rewards, and I think I did it on stream already. It's Depot. All right, you guys. I was just about to check chat and see. It is Depot, and there'll be another thing down here with a parachute, which is the drop symbol or whatever for Twitch. Click on that, then go in and select some of your rewards. Some of the rewards show up automatically. Some you have to go select. There's also the rentals that come with it that I don't get because I have all those tanks. But I think you select the rentals you want, some such thing. Make sure you do that though when you do your Twitch drop things for Cobra Commander, or you're going to be missing out on a couple deals. All right. Where else? Oh yeah, we're still in here. I'm clicking away, clicky clicky. I think that's it though. Cobra multipliers on track. There's the weekend bonus stuff, guys. Pretty standard stuff. Is there some camo involved? There is. Western Front, pretty cool. Get your camo, and the Sheridan's on track, and that's it. That is it for, I think, shilling. Did you have anything else to add in there, Pilgrim? Did we miss anything?
Oh, can we talk Sheridan? Can we talk Sheridan just for a minute?
Sure.
I took the Sheridan out last night for about 10 games. Where are we? Where's my Sheridan? Just going to give you the setup for the Sheridan. Hang on. What have I got? There we are. Right. So, I've got CVS on it. I've got a turbo on it. Woohoo! A camouflage net, and then try hard with kits and food. Okay. I had an absolute blast. This is more fun than wheeled cars, and yet from everybody other than a few people I've spoken to, they say the Sheridan is the worst light tank in the game. I mean, all right, I don't have a super win rate in it. It's only 34%. It's miserable, but it's fun. It is fun. I mean, I've got concealment up at 977. I just sit in a bush and just spot everything. I got
Yeah,
3,500
with your
spots.
camo net activated, it's going to be nice and high like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get that tank into bushes sometimes though, because otherwise its camo's not great. You might what was your
Turbo
setup?
helps.
What was your setup?
I've
CVS
got
definitely.
CVS,
Yeah, absolutely.
turbo to get me to where I need to be faster.
Yeah, okay.
Camo net, and I've got food on it, and also I put the camo directive on it as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's about the best you're going to do for the idea of raging forward and getting forward and bushing up. Problem is not a lot of maps. Not a lot of
10
maps.
battles of absolute fun yesterday.
Yeah, that's
I had
good.
the right map. I mean, I had the one with the windmill up the hill. Malanovka, I think.
Yeah.
I had Proc. I had the big wide open maps, and I can skedaddle to a bush, and it was just fun. And with the big boomstick as well. If you get into a situation where you need to use it, it's quite surprising how much damage it does to other tanks. Of course, you get lit, and then everybody shoots you. But hey,
Yeah.
I actually like it. I know people slate it. I actually like it. To be fair, I'm giving it some love.
Yeah.
I've got a good crew. I've got a 5-skill crew on it. So maybe that's the difference. I don't know.
Well, the other tier 10s, someone said it's the other tier 10s do the same thing and maybe do it a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's what you like. You know what I mean? If you can wring some performance out of a Sheridan, why not? You know what I mean? It all goes down to why people play. Some people only play the best tank in a tier because they want the best tank in a tier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's a given, isn't it?
But not me. I'd rather just play everything and try to do as well as I can in all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But to be fair, the way they do work the balance out, there are outliers, as we've always said, but majority of the tanks will do what they're supposed to do, and they can be made to be fun as well.
Sure.
You don't need a wheeled vehicle to be fun.
Yeah.
Running around the map. If you get the right map with the right tank, it's always fun, isn't it?
There's sometimes maybe if you're playing it a little different, you might surprise people because they may not expect that the Sheridan is going to come in and bush up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they might be, all right, what's this Sheridan doing? I can't figure it out.
Yeah. I always go to the thing is, what I did yesterday is I went to the places on the map that people wouldn't expect the light tank to go to. Like for example, on Malanova, they got the magic bushes. I ignore them altogether. I actually went to the right flank. I spawned on the right side, whichever side that is. And then I went to the right flank and I sat in that line of bushes. It's very close to the line of buildings. I just sat there and I got 3,000 assists in the first 2 minutes. I was like, crikey, this is awesome.
Heisenberg says if he plays it, it's no longer the best tank in the tier. Yeah, dog, this is definitely a tank tangent. So we've somehow accomplished what we come here to do. Believe me, it was not intentional. All right. Sly Rascal says, do you have a tank on 2 accounts with vastly different win rates? No, not that I've tracked, but I have seen similar tanks. Now, I will say that your sample size on your 36 games is pretty small. 136 is probably a little better, but as I was talking earlier, the Pudel, I'm at 60 with, I don't know how many games. It's less than 100. 60 games maybe, 53. And then if you come over here to which is essentially the same tank, the Breton, I'm at 38 with a very small sample size of 16. So it's hard to take much away from that. But I don't think I've noticed that. And I bet over time, if you played those 2 tanks. Now, here's the other question, though. What's your equipment and what's your crews? Because equipment and crews can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Also, are you running premium on one? Because when you have premium, you have better RNG.
Yeah. If you use your sheriff account, you get absolutely massively different RNG.
There's probably a couple of new people here and going, oh God, this guy too? This guy believes that? Come on. Cryo, it's not BS. Come on, man. If you're new to the channel, you're going to have to understand that there's a lot of sarcasm. Sarcasm. I don't know what sarcasm is, but sarcasm chucked around.
Sarcasm is a big hole in the ground, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's it, isn't it? When they have an earthquake, you have a sarcasm, don't you?
A sarcasm is when their sarcasm is so thick, things start to shake.
Yeah, exactly. A chasm is like a cave, isn't it? But slightly bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rant on. Where were we?
I don't know.
Oh, we were discussing the improvement in RNG when you buy premium time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's pay to win, isn't it?
Cryo, sometimes sarcasm is an old guy's only friend.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the only thing that keeps you sane.
Yeah, you just wake up. The only reason you wake up is to insult people. All right, that's it for missions and specials. Subjects du jour, guys. Subject du jour. Correct, Wayne. Run a booster equals lost. That is how the game is done.
That's why when there is enough people playing in the clan, I turn the reserves on, so I get a benefit out of it and nobody else does.
You know, I have often thought about doing that. I'll be playing along, and I'm like, I should go use some of the clan boosters. But there is somebody who turns them on a lot, so I do appreciate that. Whoever's is that you managing it?
Yes,
Oh, good.
yeah.
There's no sense in letting them sit around. Fire them off.
Well, then everybody in chat goes, "Oh, for crying out loud, he's turned the boosters on. Now my win rate's going to go down the pan." I was like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, so what you're saying? I just caught on. So what you're saying is the clan-wide boosters will just waylay the whole clan at once.
Absolutely.
Oh,
it's great. You've
that's
got 30 odd people screaming at you now.
oh, that's perfect. Yeah. So what happens if you
I
turn?
pretty better.
What happens if you turn yours on and the clan ones? You just flatline win rate. You're 0%. That's it. You're done.
Absolutely. You start to get zeros coming up on everything.
Yeah. You just. Yeah. That's when matchmaker.
Blues Traveller, sarcasm equals pilgrim is good at math. I am very good at maths. My own style of maths, but I am very good at it.
Pilgrim's math is what he wants it to be.
Exactly. I can sell kits and then buy them back and make profit. I know I can.
One day. All right. Subjects du jour.
day.
Subjects du jour. New tanks. New tanks. We have the Alt Proto AMX 30. Showed up in, I think it's Super Test. Tier 8 French premium tank. Harkonnen seems to think it's going to come out in patch 113.1. The next one is 112.1. So we shall see. So it looks like a new French premium Tier 8 medium, I think, is on its way. There's a T-34 model 1940, which is apparently going to be a premium Tier 4.
But why? Because the T-34 variants are so vast and many that why would you go and buy that? What's the difference?
I think
Look at the stats.
I think that's going to be the birthday gift. Was it August that they usually have the World of Tanks?
They have their victory thing, don't they? Victory in Berlin thing, whatever it was.
Yeah, that might be that, but there's also the birthday. The yearly birthday is in August, September, right?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a Tier 4, so it's a down tiered. It's the early version of the T-34. So that's there. The Skoda T-56, which is the Tier 8 heavy, Czech heavy, premium. So I imagine as they roll out the Czech heavies, that will be the first thing that comes out. Although the T-45 is already out for some people, but you get the point there. It's been slightly nerfed, actually, which is always bad. That means they initially released it well overpowered, and then they're going to do very slight nerfs, and it's going to probably come out overpowered. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That's the one that has the 2-shot autoloader.
What, the additional variant of auto-loading guns to the ones we've already got?
No, I think it's a straight-up autoloader, but only has 2 shells.
Okay.
I think it's just you load 2 shells, you shoot 2, or you shoot 1 and you press C and reload the whole shebang. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The KPZ-07RH, which I believe is a Tier 8 German medium, has apparently been given a gold value, and the words testing and whatever have been taken off the file. So it appears, from what I've read, that thing is imminent, or at least it's ready. Let's not say imminent. I have 0 essay on if it's imminent. It is ready. So if you figure that we haven't had a marathon or anything for a while, Christmas has been over for a good period. We've had Battle Pass and Stronghold, Steel Hunter, and Ranked, but we haven't really had any marathon. Like, when's the last one? Have we had one yet this year?
I don't think we have we? Did we have one really early on? I can't remember.
I don't think so. Did the 274 Alpha? TM122, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
But that was, what, 2 months ago now? At least a month, probably 2.
Right.
I want to say it was a January thing, right? Because that was Chinese New Year.
I think it was, early on, wasn't it?
Chinese New Year. So we haven't had one of those for a while. So potential candidate for a upcoming marathon, especially if you start considering it might be course, that could be 2 months away because we still have 60 days on Battle Pass. So will they run a marathon during Battle Pass? I don't know.
Yeah,
They kind of have to.
yeah.
If they're going to
I don't
squeeze
know.
3 Battle
Yeah,
Passes in before
yeah,
Christmas,
yeah. They will have to continue doing the normal stuff, surely, because you're quite right. Time frame is everything, isn't it? So the battle pass will be the background noise ongoing.
yeah.
You
Stickler,
know,
the word on the street is it will destroy the game. Correct.
of course it will.
Yeah,
Of course, what the Sutex says: high alpha and a 2-shot autoloader. What could possibly go wrong?
that's right.
Oh dear, exactly.
Yes, possible candidate for destroying the game. So those are the
Yeah.
new tanks that are coming up pretty soon. All right, guys, we've been at it for an hour, so we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break so I can get up and stretch out. I did a bunch of yard work last night, and my old back is not happy at this point. So give us 5 minutes, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back. I got a new cup of coffee, ready to move on into the second hour. Welcome to Coffee
Okay.
Talk, everybody. For any of you who might be new, I'm Guido. This is Pilgrim. I'm on the left side of the Atlantic. He's on the right side of the Atlantic.
Correct. Side of the Atlantic.
And this is where we sit around, drink coffee and tea, and talk utter bollocks about mostly tanks, but God knows what else. Could be anything, really. Could be anything. It is the #1 coffee talk talking about World of Tanks on the worldwide internet web highway at the 0700 Central time slot.
And it's also the one that involves tea as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we call it coffee talk because we all know what's better.
Oh, bloody Yanks.
Stupid colonials. Stupid colonials.
Oh, we're just going to have to come back to Boston Harbour and spank you yet again, aren't we? I don't know.
All right, so sometimes, Kedge, occasionally it is about tanks. You guys see my bot video that I put out? You guys,
yes.
You guys seen that? That was interesting. We had quite the infestation of them probably 4 or 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago at this point. With the Excelsior invite codes, people were spamming those with bots, and it appears, at least, and I have confirmation from the community guys, that they have apparently seen a slight increase. They said slight increase in bot farms, which is going to be somebody who's making a very large concerted effort to create these accounts. Yeah, Cryo, yeah. Obviously, it never went away, so I'm not claiming it was not a thing before, but there's been an increase so that it's quite noticeable as opposed to just, if you're paying attention, noticeable. So I did a video on Saturday, if you want to check that out on my YouTube channel. Kind of what to look for. I think most of you know that, but if you're curious. And then when you look at the stats, what they look like. So generally it'll be an Excelsior, a T-14, maybe a Churchill. Usually one of the tier 5 heavy invite tanks because they have a little bit of armor and some staying power and some hit points. And then that tank will be played the most. They usually run 39 to 44% win rates overall. And then they'll be going up one line usually. Soviet heavy, Soviet medium, whatever. American heavy, that kind of stuff. So that's what you're looking for if you want to see the details. Check out the video. But my question on that I asked, and a couple guys answered in the comments what they thought it was, and then in the Discord as well. I think Bitwise talked about it a little bit. Sent me a note. What's the purpose of it? And I know that's kind of a stupid question, but it's an open-ended question, and I know it doesn't necessarily have one answer. But when I see stuff like this, I always like to ask the whys. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like an economist.
Yeah.
Then what? And then what? And then what? You know what I'm saying? So one possibility is you're just a guy who wants to bot through the levels and get the tanks without trying, but you're at work or doing whatever. Your bot program is busily getting you whatever tank you want. Now those exist. We've seen those guys, and they've got 50,000, 40,000, 20,000. They play when they're not. Their bot is grinding tanks for them. So that's one thing. But you can see those accounts because they have tens of thousands of battles, and occasionally you run into the guy, and it looks like he's actually playing the game. Usually they're not very good. And then you can look at it and go, well, he's been botting. He's got 10,000 battles in his low, and it's a 42% win rate. So when he's not playing, he's grinding credits and free experience on his low, as an example. Yeah. So that's one. That's one way.
Yeah.
Second way is you are botting to sell the accounts, and somebody is saying eBay. At which point I'm like, what? Is that lucrative? I mean, if it's $25 for an account, how long does it take to get an account worth $25? I haven't gone to eBay and looked at it. I've done it in the past, kind of looked at various things that are for sale. But what I usually notice are the high-end ones where people are selling an account they've obviously had for a while, and they're just trying, multiple premiums and this, that, and the other, and they're selling it for X amount of dollars. I haven't really paid close attention to the lower cost accounts. But Randall's saying eBay.
Do you see, I struggle with that concept. I mean, perhaps it's because I have no concept of botting, but I struggle with the concept of selling an account with, a line of tanks that have been botted all the way up, for real money. Who wants to buy an account with just 3 tier 10s on it?
So that's kind of my question.
Who's doing
Like,
that?
yeah,
Who's
like
buying them?
who? I suppose. I suppose for $25, if that's what the cost is, somebody throw that number out. So that's the one I keep saying. So maybe I'm completely off base. I don't know what account with three heavy tanks. What an account with three heavy tanks at tier 10 costs, but let's say it's 25. I suppose if you're a gamer, you go, well, I just don't want to go through that. I want to check the game out. I'm willing to pay $25 and have a lot of tanks already on the account, and then a bunch of silver and a bunch of free experience to work with. I guess, but realistically, how many customers like that are there?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What's the market for this? Because
Right.
to play tier 9, tier 10, and enjoy it, you have to have done the grind to understand the mechanics of the game. It's no good just buying an account and running out with a tier 10 going, isn't this fun? And when you die in the first 30 seconds because you've got no idea what you're doing. Because you've just bought the bloody thing.
Yeah.
Do you know, yeah, I struggle with the concept. That's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, I'm trying to get a comparison in real life, but I can't even think of a comparison in real life for it. Oh dear.
Yeah, Heisenberg's, if selling a 40% win rate account is lucrative, I could have become rich. So the other thing is, someone's mentioned XVM camo. I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, you could buy it and have XVM camo. And I'm like, why? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? Well, so I can play and not get targeted. Okay. On a crappy account with only a few tanks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nick,
I guess. I mean, I don't know why that is. It really that much better of a gaming experience that I'm going to spend some money and get these extra accounts so I can have XVM camo. And if you're looking for XVM camo, that really only applies to really good players. So if you're a 51% player and you're buying it for XVM camo, WTF? It's not going to change anything for you.
no. No, it's not, is it? Yeah. There's a couple of points there. Randall, that's a good point. If you've never played the game, how would you know that you would die in the first 30 seconds? Well, exactly. Cliff, you're saying buying a Formula One car as soon as you get your license. Yeah, that's a good comparison. And then the other thing, Sly Rascal was saying, this Pilgrim, that's like a new player buying a Tier 8 Premium. Yeah, there is that, but at least you're playing the game. You're not botting it or buying a.
Now, I'm not scoffing any of you guys.
No, not at all. No
suggestions on what it is, because I think the honest truth is that it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a market, which it appears there is, I guess, just because a bunch of stuff is listed doesn't mean it's selling. I don't know, but if there's a market, then it must be multi-tiered and have multiple reasons. People don't go to, I don't know, to Lowe's or Home Depot for they don't all go for a freaking light bulb. There's a lot of stuff in there, so it's what you're looking for. But that's kind of why we're having a discussion. I'm like, all right, what are these things? What are the primary things? I want to buy an account for XVM camo. All right, I have no doubt people do that. I sort of laugh, but whatever, you do you. I just want to buy an
XVM camo. I have no idea what that means.
You don't have good stats, so in theory, you don't get targeted by Artie and other players.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay. That's why I'm always kind of like, whatever, dude. I mean, are you a 60% player who normally feels like you're constantly targeted, and you've worked on an account for a long time, you got a lot of good tanks? I'm going to spend $25 so I can slum around in this little account and feel like I'm not targeted. That makes no sense, but I suppose some people feel that way.
Yeah.
Well, Wayne, there is another market for people who will grind your account for you. That's an entirely different thing than the bot programs, because they will do the missions for you and get you a T279. And I have to assume in those cases, slightly different tangent, I have to assume in those cases that these are groups of people who will rig at late night on certain servers, do drop-ins and help get the missions done, which we've seen plenty of that as well. So, alt accounts, Bogey. So that was the third one I was going to get to. 100%, you're right. So buying an alt account so you can go on the forum and be a troll. At which point I'm like, Again, I have no doubt that happens, but I don't get it. 25 bucks so I can buy an alt account and go be a troll on the forum. You can actually do that by playing 25 games or whatever the hell it is on an alt account. You could actually start that account up and with some throwaway unconnected email and
the good old Gmail system.
Yeah.
You just get a Gmail account, and there's hundreds.
Oh yeah,
you can,
and just a different name.
Yeah.
50 games. There you go, Blues Traveler. 50 games. So within a week of not even trying and 2 days of trying, you can have an alt account and troll what to your heart's desire on the at least on the NA forum.
I come back to the original point you made, Guido. I come back to if you're botting an account, what does it get you in the end run? At the very end of all that, what has it got you? Has it got you a whole bunch of fun because you've been playing it for a year? Does it get you a skill set that nobody else has got? Does it get you absolutely nothing?
Yeah.
It gets you nothing other than I've got a tier 10. Well, whoopie-de-doo,
So Cliffy touches on another piece of it. I agree with you, Pilgrim, 100%. But Cliffy touches on another part of that market, such as it is that the bot program guys will sell you the bot program, and then you can bot yourself. So there's another part of it. So they're perfecting their program, proving it works, that kind of stuff. So that makes sense. And then the last one that I've heard, which was Bitwise, I think, on talking to me on the Discord, it said, probably some of these people are using these bots to rig. So you dump a bunch of bots in, you know what your bots are going to do, and then you rig missions and stuff that way by farming them. My video shows me doing that without me being the bot guy. Oh no, I'm busted. I guess I just got busted. Those were all my Excelsior bots, actually. That's how I get my tier 6 ace masteries. Dang it, busted.
It's just beyond comprehension. Why, it's a game, so go and play the game to have fun, or just don't play it. If you want to just rig it so you make yourself feel good about yourself, you've got pretty much lower steam, haven't you?
Well, but it's a business thing too. So here's another thing to think about, because in some of the countries where this happens a lot, if you're in Singapore or whatever, and you're only making $5 a day, and you can bot a $25 account in 2 days and sell a couple 3 of them a week. You've just increased your. I throw that country out. Maybe that's wildly off, but you understand my point. All you need is the internet connection, and certain countries do have extremely low incomes. And if you could supplement your income by doing these, you don't care if your ping.
If you can get a month's wages in a day.
You don't care if your ping's 5,000. Doesn't matter. The bot's gonna. Who cares? Maybe that's even better. I don't know. Then you can blame it on you can blame it on your ping while your gameplay's so bad. Like, I don't know.
All right. The only thing that's come out of that video for me personally is that I'm going to get called a bot a lot more now.
You're going to be called a bot a lot more?
Yeah. Because I'm such a appalling player. I'm going to be called out as a bot even more now because of your video. That Pilgrim's a bot.
Well, that's what we started off talking about. There are the bot level players and the people who have botted their own account. The people who you can't tell the functional difference between a bot and a person.
Yeah, exactly. I'm putting it out in public now. I'm not a bot. I just play like one. So leave me alone.
Low Blow's in the house. Check out his DCS stuff. That's a different subject. I just bought the Viper module, guys, for DCS, and I am learning to fly a virtual. I'm an F-15C pilot learning to fly a virtual F-16C from an Aussie C-130 pilot.
From a bus driver. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, don't.
He knows I'm only joking.
I know. But it's actually been pretty cool. It's actually been really cool. And Low Blow, I think I sent you a note, but I did get the Oculus over to Natso's place, and it works. He's only got a 1060 card, but it works fine for the Oculus. And he was flying. We got him the Eagle module just so he's familiar with it. But so we got him on the path to figuring that out, and it works. Now he's just got to get a stick and throttle because he was using the keyboard. Actually, What I got him to do is do the virtual flying, where you use the controller and do the stick and throttle with the controllers, which is completely wonky, but it's actually fun doing it a couple times because it sort of feels like actually flying the airplane, minus the feedback. So check out the Low Blows DCS stuff. Fantastic stuff. And pretty soon he and I will be doing some F-16 BVR crap as soon as I figure out a little more about it.
Ooh.
All right, so that's the bot video stuff. New patch, guys. We said we'd talk about it. 1.12.1. I think the only thing, as I recall, that's on it is the new system for the TD zoom, TD/turrets that aren't full turrets zoom thing.
An awful great deal on it. A lot of background changes, but not.
Yeah.
Not
So it's really not a
anything
big. It's not much of a patch, to be quite honest. But I am looking forward to that TD thing because I ran into that multiple times with the stupid Excalibur when I was trying to grind that awful, atrocious thing.
Yeah.
I do not like that tank. It is bad,
You,
bad.
the Excalibur, you could have just botted it, couldn't you? Really?
I have bot levels. Speaking of, I have bot level stats in the Excalibur. You were correct.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You have pilgrim levels of skill. On
Yeah,
that
I am no better
particular
than Pilgrim in this one. 46%. Are you kidding me? 33
Okay.
battles, 45. I exaggerated. 33 battles, rocking a 45% with a 660. I just hate this thing. It's so bad. It's so bad. It doesn't do anything good.
Actually, slightly better than what I can do with it.
It doesn't do anything good. Was it supposed to be an SPG? Is it actually an SPG?
Probably, yeah, probably.
Did anybody know?
dear.
I think this thing's actually supposed to be, was originally, or not originally, but in real life.
That'd be an interesting concept, wouldn't it?
I could be.
I don't even think I've got it. Hang on. Google it.
Nope, I googled it and I found Excalibur the sword.
Yeah, it used to be a sword, but now it's a tank.
It probably was under a lake, and the lady of the lake gave it to somebody. That's why it sucks.
Old slipper slinging swords out to any bloke who passes. Yeah, that one.
Well, it says light airborne tank destroyer. Oh, that's what World of Tanks. No, that's Tanks Encyclopedia. Is this a wargaming thing, or is this something else? No, the Online Tank Museum. The Excalibur was a British light airborne tank destroyer designed at the School of Tank Technology in the 1960s. Well, there you go. It was actually designed as a tank destroyer.
And it was fully amphibious, says Randall, which is... I've yet to see a tank actually swim, but we'll go with that.
Well, that supports my theory that the Lady of the Lake flung it out of the lake.
She probably did, didn't she? The old slapper. She went, "Oi, grab this."
Yep.
Yeah, okay, madam. Thank you.
Watery tarts distributing swords. It's hardly a basis for a government. However,
system of government, is it?
however that went, randomly distributing swords. It was watery tarts, though, right? Watery tarts.
Yeah. Who made you king? Well, nobody makes me king. It was by divine right. Oh,
I didn't vote for you.
I didn't.
You don't vote for
you.
kings. Oh well, that's all very good, isn't it? So that's a good point, Cliffy. If it's fully amphibious, why does it drown?
Yeah. And does it drown? Has anybody tested that theory? Has anybody seen an Excalibur drown?
Yeah.
Maybe we should run it out on a training room.
I
See-
promise you, it will drown. I guarantee it. It will absolutely drown. 100%. I've seen them drown.
Yeah.
The
Well,
water wings didn't fit. It's floating out there.
Howie tells me Sheridan's amphibious too. I might try the Sheridan out today.
It looks it, doesn't it? Because
Populate-
it's got the. It looks like a boat on the front. I would believe that, actually.
It's the bow wave it creates. It parts the water like the Red Sea. They should call it the Sheridan Moses tank. You know, it parts.
See?
There you go.
Got a little bit of a boat-looking thing to it.
All the ships. Oh dear.
World of Tank ships. All right. I think that's everything I had, man. Oh, we talked
Is
about
it?
ranked already. You know, if ranked ended, would anyone hear it? No,
Well, no, nobody even picked up on it, did they? There was
no.
no response from Twitch.
Did anybody finish ranked? How anybody out there in chat? Did you guys do ranked? Oh, here's some news on that that might please you. I think the reason that the rewards are delayed out of ranked is they are busy figuring out the bots and the cheaters.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's probably going to be a ban hammer come through. If
Yeah.
you look at the top tier, is it? Let me see here.
Did they
Is
actually
there?
list the names of who?
I think there is. Is there a
like,
leaderboard, guys,
garage?
for ranked? What if we go here? What? Let's find out. I haven't looked at
Season
it for a
3 is
while.
finished. Let's have a look. The leaderboard, so it'll give you who the dudes at the top are and dudesses. All right, okay.
Where's the leaderboard?
So you go into the drop-down menu for rank battles.
Huh?
You go to the, you got the eye, right, okay, where are you at now? Oh, I'm watching you. Right. No, go to the, to the right of the battle button
Yeah,
at the top.
yeah.
Drop down into rank battles.
That's where I am.
Well, that's slightly different to mine. Let me try again.
Well, I mean, it looks like this right here. The first place you go to.
Hang on. No. Right, now you've got it. See the icon? Right, so the 1 second from the bottom. Click on that. That's the leaderboard, top 50.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, the icon's on the
Yeah.
left-hand side, yeah?
Okay.
That'll give you the list of names.
So, what can we get his stats? Oh, jeez, of course it does that. So anyway, some of the top CCs, the Unicum CCs, the really good players. I won't name names, but they were looking through some of these, and they're like, "All right, there's no way this guy did that." And I don't remember how they said they were potentially rigging it, but I would expect a good number of these to go away. I don't know anything about any of them, so I'm not saying any single one of these or any of them was rigging, but there were some questionable accounts that were at the top and ranked. And maybe it was just a player that figured out how to be awesome. Don't know.
Yeah, or he played artillery a lot.
Yeah. It's interesting that I can't right click and
Yeah, they don't give you the stats, do they?
yeah, hold on. Let's just see who this number 1 ranked guy is. The greatest ranked player in the game. Search outside contact. Black Gun Doge. There he is. That's a good player. So that would not surprise me.
No. So that's a fair one.
64%. Oh yeah. And relatively high tiers, all 60%. So that makes total sense. I wonder if the thing's already gone through. Tantalus 43. Also a good player. So perhaps that's all BS. Oops. There we go. Very well could be total BS. I'd have to go back and look at the thread and what guys are talking about there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they've already gone through.
Yeah.
Those all look like good players, so I would none of those. Oh, Ice T with no ice did really well. He comes by the stream once in a while. Good on him. Very cool.
Cool. How do you? You can. Yeah, you can scroll down. I was just trying to see how you can scroll down. I mean, you can also look at the clans. I mean, you got Nerve Clan. They're a good clan. Yeah, I mean, Yojo.
I mean, we just looked at the top 3 or 4. They were all solid players, so there's no surprise on any of those. That's not going to be any issue.
Mauhau's in there, but quite low down. Mauhau's sort of dropped off the old top spot.
Oh, Cliffy's got, Cliffy says 11 weak bans, 4 permanent from rank. There you go. So it's already gone through, Cliffy?
Already gone through. Right, cool.
There you go.
You've had a subscriber with
Right
Prime.
on. Who was that?
Bilderberg.
Bilderberg. Thanks, man. Very much appreciated. Awesome stuff. So yeah, maybe that's already gone through or whatever. If it's only 11 weak bans and 4 permanent, it wasn't really that many people. So, although that may be the top level guys that they caught, who knows how many are down below.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't even know how the hell you would rig band or rig ranked. Play late and have some people help you. I don't even know how you would do that.
Well, how do you? I mean, you can't. It's not like you platoon in with stuff. I don't know. It was beyond me anyway. So, yeah, illegal mod, possibly Cliffy. Yeah,
could have been just mod use. That's true. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fact. Then that happens in every mode. So, very well could be. Very well could be.
Have they not given out the rewards for that? Then you were saying earlier.
No, there's a delay, and Jemima's saying when do the rewards come out? It's actually hold on, it's probably right here. I can probably just show it because I have a whole 1 coin. Come down here to the rewards. No, to the actual rewards. Is this it? No. Yes. No. This is it. There we go. I have a token. Doesn't say, does it?
Doesn't tell you when.
No, I don't see it. It just says calculating, huh? Okay. I'm not going to get anything. I get whatever the bond. I get 500 bonds, I guess. So I played a little bit earlier. I think the first season or first section of this year, I went through qualifying, and then I just couldn't stand it, so I never did it again. From 3 days ago, for now, it's time to rest and enjoy. Next 14 days. All right, there you go. Sync dropping on the SA server. Oh, okay. So I heard. Okay. Because you could. That's right. So for NA, you could have done it on the South American server. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a good point. Oh, hang on. That's where the 5 keys are gone. Well done, Wayne. We finally sussed it now. With 1 token, Guido will get 5 keys.
Dang it. I'll tell you though, I would really like to get the 50 TP, man.
Now, would you?
Oh yeah, I'd like to get this thing for sure.
Because you have to give that reason. You have to give the caveat. Why?
It's funny. It says it's in my garage, but it's not. I have an expired rental in my garage. That's what I have. It's just a good tier 9, man. Just a good tier 9.
Cool.
Check on eBay. Yeah, that's right. Problem is I can't have it on my account if I buy it on eBay. I have to buy some other account that has it.
Well, yeah, it's only $25. I'll lend you that.
I already have alternate account. You can have 2 other NA accounts I never touch. No, Cliffy, which is exactly why I didn't go through the pain of ranked. Some of that is sour grapes. I just suck at ranked. I got my rear kicked constantly. There was no fun in it. So it's just like, all right, I'm going to have to hold my nose, get my rear kicked over and over, and somehow come up, hopefully get enough coins or whatever I needed to do it. And it just wasn't in the cards for sure.
That's the sort of same line of thinking that I had, although I'm considerably worse than you. So when I went in and died in the first 5 seconds, I went, nah, this is not fun, I'm going. I'm not doing this again.
It was expensive. You needed to, you definitely needed to put your try-hard pants on. You had to be careful. You didn't want to be out front, but you also didn't want to be so far back you couldn't help your team do well. And then as soon as your team stopped doing well, all of a sudden everyone would contract. And now it was just a case of I want to be number 1 on a losing team.
Yes, yeah, no, there is that mindset, isn't there? It's obviously, and that's the way it's designed. Of course, it is. It's obviously you have to do the best you personally can out of that particular battle,
right?
Because that's going to move you up the ranks.
Because at the very least, I don't want to lose a chevron. At the very least, I don't want to lose. So I have to beat had to be top 4 or 5 or whatever to not lose a chevron, and then top
Yeah.
1 actually got a chevron or something of that nature. And
Yeah.
now it's just a competition of how much damage can I farm. That wasn't
I
every
think,
game.
and
Sometimes you had teams that really got out and did good teamwork and got rolling, and
oh yeah, I mean, and predominantly, you know, if that happens, I would probably enjoy the mode, but it doesn't happen. And Ozzy's quite right. It's not about team play; it's about how you do individually. So, aggressive play style is actually you get penalised for that because the rest of the team go, yeah, just let him go and die, so there's one less to farm damage later on. You know,
yeah, there you go.
they don't
People
want
would
to
not
spoil
shoot at
it.
spotted tanks.
Yeah.
They didn't want to give
Well,
XP to
yeah,
the
exactly.
spotter. They would wait. Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't like the mode, so there you go. And missing out on one tier 9 tank is probably not going to be the end of the world. I mean, I stopped playing the old back when the Char 4 was available for doing front lines and Steel Hunter. I stopped doing that and chasing that last year because I just got tired of. Frontline was okay. I got tired of playing Steel Hunter. I didn't want to do it, so I said, whatever, I don't get it. I was glad to see Battle Pass get reworked, and now the tanks are available for playing randoms, and I think that is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is
I think that's
fantastic.
one of the good moves that Wargaming's made recently. You know, one of the best moves actually, because to have a multiple different ways of winning the tokens required to get the decent tank and so on and so on. You know, it's great because it means everybody can then join in, not just those who like to particularly do. I mean, I love front lines. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love front lines. I wish it was back. I wish it was a mode that I could just go to every time I play. Some people hate front lines. You know, it's for me, it's a credit grind and great fun. All tier rates and walloping away with me. You know, hull down
Yeah.
Carnarvons and chieftains or whatever it may be, and you know and I will admit, the only wheeled tank I have was the FL, and I did use it to great effect on front lines.
The wheel tanks and front lines are actually a hoot. They really are because
They are.
when you can break through, get behind there, and start waxing Artie and shoot it, and
Well, you can go. You can. The great thing, yeah, exactly
map's
that.
big. Yeah, map's
Yeah,
big. Yeah.
you can get behind and go to the other side of one of the other maps and just muller their artillery as well.
Yep.
Love it.
I think the most fun I had was dueling other light tanks, other wheel tanks that were trying to chase you down while you were raging around their backfield.
Yeah,
You know,
you
play
knew
that.
they were auto aimed on you.
Oh
So
yeah.
you jinx and jinx and
Yep.
jinx and jinx.
That cat and mouse game, and then you could fix
Brilliant.
yourself on one of their spots and go at them again. That was always good fun.
Yeah,
All right, man.
yeah, yeah.
Did you have a competition for the boys?
Oh yes, I tell you what. We've got a David Fletcher question. Now, those of you who don't know David Fletcher, if you check out Guido's channel, he does refer to David on a number of occasions. But also, if you go to the Tank Museum, you can see that he does videos. He's a proper English gentleman of many years standing, with awesome eyebrows, and he is an absolute guru on tanks of every nation in the world. He knows his stuff. It's the moustache guy, yeah, the mustache guy. So I've got a question about him. It's a three-part question, and again, the result, the answers that I need is all three answers with one answer, guys. So you can't have three stabs at it or something like that. Give me an answer with the three parts of the question. The person who gets it right first, all three parts of the question, will get 500 gold. All right. So here's the question. His name is David John Fletcher. As I say, he's a tank guru at the Tank Museum. I think he's retired now, actually. However, the three-part question is this. Part one: what honour does he have bestowed on him by the Queen? Okay, what honour has he had bestowed on him by the Queen? What arm of service did he serve in? So you've got a choice of four, really, haven't you? You know, Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines. And how many? This is the biggie. How many books has he written about tanks in his lifetime? Do you want me to repeat the questions? Okay. What honour was he bestowed? I can't say that bloody word. Bestowed. What honour was bestowed on him by the Queen? What arm of service did he serve in? And how many books has he written on tanks? So, three-part question. You need to have all three parts correct in one answer to win the 500 gold. The first person to do it. Yeah, Wayne. Honour, service, and number of books. There you go.
I'm trying to see.
It's not all in wiki either.
It isn't. It isn't. I just tried to Wikipedia it.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah,
it's there
smartly didn't help.
potentially. I bet it's on the. No, I won't say where I bet it is.
Yeah, you better not.
No,
Oh, dear.
there is
You'll
a
pay
David
the
Fletcher
500
that's a baseball player, so don't bite off on that.
No. Sorry, Blues. No, that's not correct. It was a good try, though, but I'm not giving any clues away. Bit wise for the cheek of the answer. That's close, but it's not. Tank Master General served in the Space Force.
That's 420 books a year. We have to add it up together. You have to add it all.
Heisenberg's is even better. MVP Major Leagues in 49. Why 49?
Oh, okay. This has got to be it here. Oh no, that's buying his stuff. Why is there no info?
O-Dog is actually on the right lines, but that's all I'm giving out, guys. No more clues. Google Guido, yeah. If you Google Guido, you get all sorts of stuff, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of garbage on me out there.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know where you would find that.
Is it? Does everybody have a feel that this is a hard question? 'Cause I can
Yeah.
let it roll till next Sunday if you like. Yeah.
Is it all in one place, or do you have to?
Oh, look at Blues. You've had your guess. You can't have two guesses. Yeah, but you see on there, it doesn't say how many books.
Yeah, yeah. That doesn't. Yep. That's the stuff off of Wikipedia. That only has one of the answers on it.
Yeah.
Which that was that was the easiest answer, actually.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest thing to do is go to Wikipedia, but it doesn't.
Why
give
does
you-
Wikipedia not have his service? That's pretty funny. I mean, he's a British military historian. That Wikipedia is quite thin. It's got a lot of his publications, but I don't know how many of those are actual books. Are you just looking for publications or no kidding books?
Well, no kidding, books.
You must have got that list from somewhere.
Well, don't forget, I've got an inside track into the Tank Museum.
Oh, no, I know the number of books. I just figured that out.
Okay.
Yep. His service, though, is...
Aussie's the closest. The Aussie's the closest, but it's not a winner. Okay. You can't have three guesses, Blues. Come on now. What part of one guess with three answers in it do you not get, Blues? Oh dear. Yeah, there's no winner ticket. I can let it roll till next week if I drive trucks. That's the reason why then, Blues, you're right. You're a truck driver, you're allowed as many guesses as you like.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll let it roll till next Sunday if you want.
Let's see.
You can't win 500 gold, Guido. You can't.
Yeah, but I'm curious. I'm actually trying to use some Google Foo and figure it out, but I can't find the last thing that I need to know. I have a guess, but that seems maybe too obvious. I don't know. Right? His service seems like fairly easy if you think about it, but maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not. Now then.
Maybe he was a
You can
WAF.
spot it.
Has he had a sex change?
Are we going there now?
I don't know. They're always trick questions.
Sex change from what?
He was a WAF, Women's Army Air
How
Force.
could that be? How could that be female in any shape or form? How can David Fletcher be female? Wait till I speak to him. I'll be telling him that.
We're looking for the hook. We're trying to figure out the hook in the question.
That is awesome.
You can buy the answer on eBay. It's $24. You also get a botted World of Tanks account with it.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Mm.
Yeah,
Maybe
Ozzy, if I
it's
let it roll
Maybelline.
next Sunday, everybody gets a second chance. How about that? If we don't get it this one, I'll roll it to next Sunday, and everybody can have another chance. But you've got to have the 3 answers in a oneer. No bits
I
and
think
pieces.
people are starting to reach the point. They're like, you know what? It's not worth 500 gold. I can't find this damn thing.
Okay, I'll let it roll to next week, and I'll tell you all next week. How about that? There we go. I'll tell Guido off air.
I want to find it.
Uh,
Wait. Dang it! Every time I do it, it just comes up with that stupid blurb from Wikipedia that doesn't give any information.
I'm going to award myself the 500 gold because I know
Good
the 3
plan.
answers.
Good plan.
Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. If anybody gets it next Sunday, it'll be 1,000 gold. How about that? I'll double it up. There you go.
Wait a minute.
Capitalism.
Wait a minute. David.
You're a bot.
Full bio. Hold on. Dang it.
Rigged.
It is rigged. How can it be that hard to find his service?
Randall's going to email the museum. I mean, you can do what you like, guys. I'm, as long as it's not out and out cheating, as long as you're not bot accounting it, it's fine.
Oh, here's a. Hold on. Well illustrated book, yada yada.
I mean,
Well, I got a lot of his stuff here, but again, it's not. It doesn't say anything about it.
You've got to think on a tangent. What arm of the service isn't well publicised, perhaps, or maybe not. No.
Well, that's the thing. If he had anything to do with tanks, there's only 2 real possibilities. But I don't know much about the service I'm thinking of in the UK. So I know in the US that branch of service does have armor, and I'm assuming yours does as well. So there's 2 possibilities, I think, really. Unless he just happens to be like me, he was a pilot and started to like tanks, which I don't really think is true, but it could be.
Well, now, hang on. Bitwise says I'm going to double it up to 1,500 the week after next. No, I'm not.
Double or nothing. Randall, I considered that. They just might, actually. Send an email and ask him what service he was in. It's gonna award me $2.50 in gold or whatever it is.
Oh, dear.
All right, man.
That's it then. Next week.
Yeah.
1,000 gold.
This is new territory. We haven't seen this one happen. This is uncharted.
Uncharted, yeah.
Yeah.
That I need to be here next Sunday. I can't be anywhere else now, can I? I've committed.
Yeah, Kedge, we're just all going to not say anything until the price goes up to something we want. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody coming by. It's a good coffee talk. Thanks a lot. Expect to see me stream tomorrow for Stack Up. Potentially a stream earlier, depending on when I get back. Sometime next week as well. I know that's not good info, but as it's been with my work schedule, like last week, I streamed, I think, 3 times. So I may very well have extra time in there. We'll see what happens with that. That is it from the left side of the Atlantic.
And that is it from the correct side of the Atlantic. Take care, guys.
See ya.